Hey everyone, my name is Asia. I'm with College Vine, and before we get started talking about your college essays today, I just want to take a moment to remind you about our free essay services. So, first, if you want to get a free review of your essay, you can head on over here and submit your essay. You'll get detailed inline edits, and you'll get your essay back in a return time of about 3 to 8 hours, maybe even less. And you can also improve your own writing skills by reviewing another student's essay right here. So a student will submit their essay, you'll provide feedback, and send it back to them. And if you're looking for some more help on your essays, some guidance, you can head on over to our essay prompts and guides. So in our essay prompts and guides, you'll find a list of all the schools that you're applying to and how to write the essays. Head on over to collegevine.com to sign up and get started with all our free essay services today.
The next piece of the application puzzle that we're putting together here is a question about something that you enjoy. What is something that you do not because you have to, but because you want to? 200 to 250 words is a pretty generous margin here, and it lets you really explore something. This is probably one of your extracurricular activities, but it also might just be a hobby. So what do you do in your free time? And you're going to want to use this opportunity to discuss something you haven't talked about in other essays. And that goes back to the idea of essays as a portfolio. And again, like with the major, you want to be honest here. You don't want to choose something that sounds impressive. You'd rather put something forward that demonstrates your genuine, authentic passion for something. That being said, being honest doesn't necessarily mean using an idea that isn't reflective of who you are and what you will bring to MIT. You still want to be putting your best foot forward. So for example, you want to choose something that is going to show that you can think meaningfully and maturely about something. Scrolling through your TikTok or looking at memes all day isn't going to be something that resonates really strongly with an admissions reader. You probably want something a little more substantive here. Volunteering, maybe, if that's meaningful to you. It might be a job that you have. It might be babysitting for your younger siblings or cousins. This can be one of those things that you just love to do, and you do it without being asked because it's something you want to do. And so you can approach this essay structure once you have a topic in your mind. You can take it in one of two directions, okay? Either stick to the moment in time method, which is, a brief anecdote about a specific episode in which you were doing this activity, and you want to just tell that story, recreating a single moment in time that conveys how much you love it. Or you want to look at it from a longitudinal method, saying, this is what I love, this is how I discovered it, this is how I've engaged with it and how I've grown through it, this is what it's taught me, and this is how I hope to continue doing it in the future. You're going to want to incorporate some elements of both. For example, even if you're doing the longitudinal method, you want to include details of a meaningful moment to give authenticity to it. But the moment in time also has to have some context to it, some explanation. You can't just drop yourself right in the middle of the story and never explain how we got there. And so I want to give an example to show what this might look like. So if your passion, something you love to do, is sunset photography, maybe you want to tell a moment in time story about when you were sitting on a pier and watching the sun go down, and you lift up the camera, and as the colors in the sky just sort of turn this gorgeous gradient and the sun hits the horizon, you take a photo and you hear the click and you just feel all your stress melt away. That's a great moment in time that shows with really vivid imagery, something that makes you feel, right? But maybe you want to approach it a different way. Talk about the first time you ever took a photo, the first time you ever had a camera in your hands, and you went on this sort of long journey taking pictures of lots of different things until you finally settled on sunsets. And what does that mean for you? What have you gotten out of this? Maybe it's a question of understanding balance and perspective. Um, Either way, no matter what direction you take this, you want to be telling us what you do that you love, why you love it, and how this activity has shaped you and what you've learned from it, what you've gained from it. Okay, so the lessons you've learned are going to be important here. And make sure, again, try to throw in some good details here. It makes it seem really authentic and meaningful and personalizes the essay and makes you stand out. A second option here, another example, might be to talk about Rubik's Cubes. You love doing Rubik's Cubes, you've been doing them forever, all sizes from the not four-sided, the 2x2 grid to things that are huge or maybe not even cubes at all. So you just love to solve puzzles, you love challenges, and you love trying to do better than you did last time. And so you can do this again, moment in time, focusing on a single solve, or you can make it more of a narrative and growing, and from the basic Rubik's Cube to the more complex ones, and how you see challenges and you know that there's some method and you're just trying to figure out what that looks like and how to make it work. And yes, this is kind of a nerdy thing, but again, this is the MIT application after all. So you're in good company if you are worried about it being too nerdy. But just to summarize, you want to use good imagery, good details to tell a compelling story. This is very show don't tell, because if this is something you love, this is something you're passionate about, you shouldn't have to describe it in a bullet point kind of way. This is very pathos filled essay, ideally.